Anyway, hello everyone. Yeah, I just gotta really want it. So today, this whole thing was a last minute situation where we were going over our Christmas update and everything that was going to entail. We were going over how the event's going to work and just, I mean, the concept of the entire situation. One of the things that we were running into with the Halloween event, obviously, was that we had people at the end who had thousands of candy left over, which thankfully, uh, D had implemented the ability to exchange it for cold hard cash, or y'all would have just been sitting there with thousands of candy. So we're trying to avoid not necessarily being able to get that much for the candy canes, which is going to be the monetary value thing, currency for the Christmas event. But we want players to have more incentive to play the contracts as opposed to only hopping around. So we had a few different ideas for that. And with that grand intro, I'm handing it over to D because I feel like he's got this better than I do. Take it
Okay,
away.
taking it away. So, with the Christmas event, obviously, we want to, like she said, we want to keep the same vibe as a Halloween event. So, we do want to encourage players to go from lobby to lobby, check out each other's decorations. But we also feel like the Halloween event left a lot of people not doing any contracts at all and only focusing on lobby hopping. So, in order to kind of balance the two, our ideas are to either increase the amount that you get from the contracts and decrease the amount you get from the lobbies. So they kind of balance out while kind of maybe increasing the amount required to get a Christmas present, which we'll get into the what the Christmas present stuff is in here in a little bit. But I guess what it comes down to is like, what would you guys as players like really want to see to be like incentivized into actually doing contracts?
We had a few ideas as far as one of our ideas to encourage more people doing contracts was, we could limit it so you guys could do 10 lobby hops per 2 hours. And by the time you were done with that 10th lobby hop, you basically, give or take, would be you'd have almost just enough time to do a contract and then probably just go lobby hunting again. So we thought maybe that would encourage it. One of the alternatives we thought of was decreasing the amount of candy canes you get from headquarters and increasing the amount you get from contracts, as well as giving bonus candy canes for completing the contract. So, identifying the ghosts and cleanse, finding all the artifacts, but also like if you get a perfect game, giving you bonuses for that. Double XP weekends, I see that. We were literally just talking about that. We would love to do something like that. Absolutely. Don't distract me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are some of the ideas we're shooting around, just trying to figure out how to encourage you guys to spend more time in contracts. So if the mods want to pick speakers, we'd love you for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we'll take one at a time, see what ideas you guys have. Our ideas are obviously we're not like super stuck on them, so we're just open to all feedback. Any suggestions on it? All right, we got maniacal up
Oh,
here.
whoops. Forgot that there was a mute button. But no,
Hello.
I hi. So I thoroughly agree with the whole uh 10 lobbies because in the Halloween event it was absolutely chaotic and it felt more like a chore than anything else to going through all these different lobbies and the people who had their lobbies open all the time didn't really get a chance to, go to other people's lobbies and just hang out for a little bit. But no, I thoroughly agree with the 10 lobbies. If anything, I wouldn't even implement the lobby hops. I would honestly just stick with the game in my personal opinion.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
all right.
we do want to encourage people to visit each other's lobbies. I feel like that was a
big
big
community
thing during
thing.
a big community thing for the Halloween event, and so we do want to encourage that to some extent, but we don't want to make it so it's just all players want to do, because there was such a very large gap between how much you got from a contract versus how much you can get while you're just lobby hopping. So we want to like just find like the common ground so it's more balanced. Like what a player would want to do to get stuff from contracts. So whether that's enforcing a limit or making it just so it's incentivized because you get more candy, or like what some people suggested. So I see in the chat here.
Okay, so then what I would recommend is keeping the 10, keeping it the same as the Halloween thing, but putting a limit. Like per that 10, like somebody was saying, I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to my phone. I'm in my kitchen at the moment. But like keep the number the same, because I think for the Halloween event it was like 5 each, and like you get rewarded 2 if you're the one giving it out. Keep that, but I would say maybe add a couple extra on top for contracts, maybe double it if you did a perfect quote unquote hunt, if I can say that. But that would be an idea if somebody was open to that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Write
You're
this down.
welcome.
Write this down. I am taking notes. So
Write this down.
I am writing this down. Real quick, I want to just kind of see what chat's saying here and respond to it. So definitely, like, we will be keeping the lobby hopping as a thing, for sure. Like it'll be there. I don't think there's a world in which we don't have lobby hopping. It's really just about finding that balance. And I saw a lot of people say contract contract exclusive rewards, and we were tossing around different ideas for that I would prefer D goes over, just because it's more of a him thing. So D,
Yeah.
if that's something you want to bring up,
Yeah.
I think now's the
Actually, I
time.
mean, I'll go over the whole Christmas event itself. And so that way, I guess people can see kind of like where the event is going and kind of base their recommendations on that, like their suggestions. So we can kind of pull it up here real quick. Okay, so the event currency is going to be candy canes. So in the Halloween event, you had candy, and this one you're going to have candy canes. It's going to work a little bit differently. We want to make sure that this event separates itself and is a unique experience from the Halloween event. So while it's going to have some similarities, the way you get the candy canes is going to be different. The way that you unlock cosmetics for the event is going to be different. So like in the contract, you'll find these straw effigies that are UV reactive. They're going to be hidden around the location. So kind of like you had the candy buckets in the Halloween event for anyone that participated in that event, you had candy buckets that were scattered around. These are going to be scattered around, but they're going to be actually hidden. They're not just going to be in plain sight. They're going to actually, you have to look for them. They're easier to find with like UV lights because they are UV reactive. And then when you pick them up, you get the candy canes in return, just like you would with the Halloween event. There's no like, there's not a choice being made. You just get the candy. However, there are some gameplay effects from these straw effigies that are in the contract. They're small. They're like very small. You're not gonna just be able to see them unless you're looking for them, kind of thing. But they do affect the gameplay. So all the straw effigies that are in the map will increase the activity of the ghost. Starting out, the ghost will be at 200% activity. This will affect the interaction frequency, the hunt frequency, the speed of the ghost, pretty much all the like the ways of making the game more difficult. So as you pick up these effigies, as you find them and you pick them up, the activity will decrease back to the 100%. So if you get all of them, you'll go down from that 200% to the 100%. If you're in close proximity of an effigy, and this is a kind of thing that is like, I guess, just a way to make it even more interesting, is that these effigies can also affect the player. If you're in close proximity of an effigy that you have not picked up, and the ghost is like hunting, it will know your location. So it's, it allows the player the freedom to decide how they want to approach the game, if they want to collect all these effigies right off the bat, or if they want to allow the ghost to have that increased activity level so they get more evidence sooner, also maybe more hunting sooner. That's the player's choice. So that's kind of like how the contract side of things is going to work. We're going to have these scattered around. You got to find them. You get candy for them. They do affect the gameplay. And then if you have a perfect game, which is what Maniacal was kind of talking about there, if you, not necessarily a perfect game, but if you complete the contract, so for like identify, if you identify the correct ghost, you get bonus candy canes. If you collect all the artifacts and cleanse, you also get bonus candy canes. So normally picking up the straw effigies, they will give you candy canes, but also completing the contract will give you bonus. So you can't just go in there, grab all the straw effigies and get out, because you're losing that bonus. And that kind of covers like the contract side of things for the Christmas event.
I saw a lot of people asking about the ghost models and changing the ghost models. So we're not going to be doing Krampus. And obviously there's other other games that do that. We are going to be utilizing a separate ghost model for the Christmas event. Um, we didn't really talk about how much of that we'd tell people, but like, are we cool with just like
Yeah,
telling them what's up? Okay,
yeah,
cool. So, um, we're not going to be using Krampus. We're going to be using an old German lore, Hans Trap, and he was essentially like an anti Christmas whole thing. So with him, he's a story you would tell your children. He was known as the Christmas boogeyman, and the lore says that he would dress himself as a scarecrow and eat children. So we're going with the Hans Trap theme. So that's where the straw effigies come in. That's why they work almost similar to like an elf on the shelf, where the elves are always watching. Well, so are his straw effigies. They're always watching. So if you're near them, he knows where you are. So that's what we're doing as far as ghost model goes. How many straw effigies? The straw effigies are going to, much like the Halloween event, it's going to vary based on mode, location, and um, what's that word I'm looking for? Difficulty.
yeah, difficulty. So like the size of the location, the difficulty of the contract, and we don't yet have a number of how much you're going to get yet. That's kind of where we're at, trying to figure out like the balance between HQ hopping and contract rewards. So the amount that
Yes.
we're going to give is going to be decided basically like as soon as this is done, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So
so uh,
that's that.
yeah, so that covers the contract side of the Christmas event. So of course we have the headquarters side, which is going to incentivize people to kind of, visit each other's headquarters. So much like the Halloween event, you interact with someone's candy bucket in order to get candy. We have the elf on the shelf for the headquarters event. So players will have a single elf furniture piece that they can place down anywhere in their headquarters. They should try to hide it, but they're not required to. Other players visiting the headquarters will interact with the elf furniture to receive candy canes. If you're that headquarters owner, you will not directly receive candy canes in return. So, like in the Halloween event, you received 2 candy back for being generous. In this one, you're not going to receive candy immediately. What you're going to do is you're going to receive a Christmas present under your Christmas tree, which will be a separate piece of furniture that you'll get. And that present, you'll be able to go to your Christmas tree and open up to receive your candy canes. And this whole system is intended to help alleviate the whole everyone going AFK and there being a bunch of AFK lobbies. So you can only receive a cap of, we don't have a number yet, but 5 presents basically under your tree. Anyone that comes to your lobby and finds your elf, you won't receive another Christmas present for that. You'll just have that 5. So it kind of incentivizes people to maintain that they open their Christmas presents as they receive them. And then the Christmas tree. This is the interesting part of the headquarters like trophy. So the Christmas tree is supposed to be like your event trophy that it progresses as you progress in the event. So it's a single placeable furniture that increases its visual appearance as Christmas presents are acquired. So as you get more Christmas presents from the event shop, your Christmas tree is going to get more decorated. And then you can interact with this Christmas tree and you can open your presents from there. After the event is completed, like after we shut the event down and everything, you'll retain your Christmas tree in its current state. So whatever you have decorated on it, you'll retain it. That'll be your trophy. There will be 3 versions of it so that you can have a small, a medium, and a large version that you can place down, a single version only. So you can't have all 3 placed at the same time, but you'll have 3 different variants. And I think that kind of covers the HQ side. Actually, no. So in the event shop, your candy canes, you're going to exchange for presents. You're not going to just go in there and you're going to pick an item, see the price, and like, I want this item. You're going to exchange it for a Christmas present. It's going to randomly choose an item from the event pool, and you're going to receive that item. You don't get to choose what you're going to get. You get what you get. It's
You
Christmas.
don't have a fit, okay? You
Yeah, you
get
don't
what
have
you
a fit.
get. You don't have a fit. Them's the rules of Christmas.
I'm
Exactly. No givebacks.
back. I had to eat my sandwich.
No duplicates.
then-
Nope.
Yeah, and you would give no duplicates. So it'll choose a random item you have not yet unlocked. If you have unlocked everything, then you'll receive cash or whatever else that we determine is part of it. We are talking about another progression-related part of the event that is going to be even more interesting, where you can basically exchange your candy in the event shop for different tiers of presents. So like a basic tier present would give you 1 cosmetic from the event, specifically from the event, and only that 1 item. However, there's other tiers that you could do, like you could have a common or an epic or a legendary tier present that would cost more candy canes, and you will guarantee unlock at least one of those tier of items. So the event items will be tiered. So you'll have some that are more desirable than others, common, epic, and legendary. And then based on those tiers, you'll receive at least 1 guaranteed of that if you buy the increased tier present. So like a gold foiled present, which is the legendary one, that will guarantee that you get a legendary cosmetic in it. If you have unlocked all legendary cosmetics, then it'll fall back into the epic. But there's also some stuff that were kind of like in the works with that related to the progression, where you can get like XP boosts and receiving event unlocks from previous events. Specifically, like that would be like a legendary unlock. So like if you had all your event unlocks for the Christmas event done and you wanted to buy a legendary present, you could potentially receive an item from a previous event, like the Easter event or the Halloween event. It'd be restricted items. You wouldn't be able to get all of them, but there would be some items that you could get in that.
And that goes back to where some people were saying that if we had some contract exclusive, like unlocks or whatever, having, double XP and stuff would be not exclusive to only doing contracts. Obviously, you can get them from getting candy canes from HQs, but it's something that you'd want to use in contracts. No chance of anyone ever getting trophies from previous events. So now that you guys kind of have a feel for how the event is going to work, what's going to be going on, if we could get some input, either in chat or if you throw your hands back up, just to get a feel for what you guys think as far as price and whatever. So we initially had thought about having each present cost about 50 candy canes. With that, we were using each effigy, like all the straw effigies that you could get from the maps, being worth 1. And then when you complete your contract, so you correctly identify the ghost and make it out, you get an extra like 5. If you get a perfect game, you get another extra 5. That's just like random number I'm throwing out. But then also with like cleanse, if you complete your cleanse to get your artifacts, that's a bonus right there. And then also if you get a perfect game, that'd be a bonus as well. So obviously you would be getting a substantial amount more from contracts if we were also limiting lobbies. The issue we're having is if we're not limiting lobbies, we're having a hard time finding the balance between making it worth playing contracts, hanging out with people, playing the game, that sort of thing, over just lobby hopping the whole time. So with that,
Mhm.
we're moving to back to questions in the crowd because
Okay, yeah. Let me answer Universal Reese here because he asked, so did I hear that right? It's not possible to unlock all the unlockables. No, it is. So if you, let's say you any loot box that or not loot box, any present, Christmas present, just think of them as kind of like loot boxes because that's kind of how they're going to be treated. You're not going to know what you're going to get until you get it. So in these Christmas presents that you exchange for candy canes, you're always going to receive at least, or at most, you're only ever going to receive one event cosmetic. If you have all the event cosmetics unlocked, then you will start receiving other stuff like previous event cosmetics potentially. It's not guaranteed that you will, but you will always receive one event cosmetic if you don't have them all unlocked already. Guaranteed.
okay. I believe first we have Z coming up. Z, we are waiting for you to accept. There you go.
Hello.
Hello.
It put me back on phone 1 second. It took me off speaker and back on phone. That's annoying.
I do
Okay.
be doing that.
Yeah, so I was gonna make the suggestion of like not just contract exclusives items that had been kind of mentioned and touched on, but like maybe certain trophies or some sort of collectible that maybe you can display in your lobby as far as how many contracts you've completed during the event, like maybe like a 3-tier system. Like if you've done 20 contracts, you hit that first one, 40 contracts, you hit the second, 50, or however many. And maybe it's just like a 3-tier little reward system for some sort of exclusive thing in
What
that
if,
regard.
hold on. What if D, when we were discussing the Christmas tree decorating, what if the Christmas tree decorates based on the number of contracts that you're doing? So if you want
Yeah,
like a nice tree, you've got to be going into contracts.
that could be interesting.
Write
Yeah.
this down, write this down. Or like improves the tree topper. Yeah. Write this down, write this down. Thanks, Z.
You write it down.
Yeah. no problem.
I'm
And
literally writing it down right now.
the other thing that I was going to ask, and I wrote it in the chat, but I think it got scrolled, is there going to be some sort of indicator on people's lobbies? So people who are lobby hopping, if they've got 5 presents, maybe they have a grayed out present next to their name, if that's going to be possible, so that people aren't wasting their time zoning into a lobby that,
Oh, I mean,
you know, maybe they won't be benefiting from or something.
you won't be wasting your time. So if you go to a lobby that already has the 5 presents, you're still going to get your candy canes from that lobby. That session owner is just not going to receive any more presents, basically, in return.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe when they get 5 presents, they should have something pop up on their screen that's like, "Hey, dummy, you're capped. Come
Yeah,
back to the
absolutely.
screen." But that was all I got. Thanks, guys. We still love you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Saucy said, why is it important to make people do the contract specifically instead of just in the game doing their own thing? So, um,
I don't think it's
my
necessarily
personal,
I,
yeah,
I was,
you
I was,
go, you go.
I was going to say, I don't think it's necessarily like we want to force players to do the contracts. We just don't want them to feel like they're being punished by doing contracts, kind of like the Halloween event was. You could get
Exactly.
candy. You didn't have to put any effort in to lobby hop basically in the Halloween event, and you got candy. I feel like a much more rapid pace in the Halloween event. So we kind of just want to narrow that gap down between the two.
Yeah. it was for the Halloween event, it almost didn't make sense to go and play because if I was playing to unlock all of my Halloween event items, oh, well, I'm just gonna go lobby hop for 25, 30 minutes because there's 200 lobbies open and I know I can get everything I need right there. So it's just to incentivize the contracts because the other thing too is the game's in early access, right? So if players aren't playing contracts, we don't know what we need to improve on. Like straight up, like we now know you guys love lobbies. Like we know that. We know you guys want a lot of stuff in your lobbies and you know, that's great. We're going to do that. Lobbies are yeah, dude, blues lobbies are dope. But being in early access, it is important to figure out what we need to do to improve the game itself and help the game itself grow. And by not having players playing the actual game, it's harder to do that. We have a handful of people ready to speak now. We can take the next one.
Oh my goodness, yay, I got brought on this. Okay, so
Hello.
really, I'm just like a sucker. I want like weekly or daily tasks. I think if you do good in Contra, like if you like escape hunts or smudge ghosts or whatever, you can like upgrade your tree for completing tasks every week instead of just like completing contracts. I don't know.
I see what you're saying.
Like doing things to upgrade your tree. Like you'll open your tablet and it'll say, attend this map so many times, like to push people towards maps that they don't play, or like survive hunts this many times to unlock more tree decorations.
That's a good idea. So having bonus rewards, bonus candy cane rewards for completing these
Yeah,
different things. I like it,
absolutely.
Picasso. And I think that ties in with some of the progression stuff too.
Progression?
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
What if we had a new eel and it was called, what are those things? Prodigies? Effigies? Little effigy look instead of
Oh, the
UV.
effigy. Yeah, so the effigies we had kind of discussed having them blue like UV reactive to really like accentuate number one the fact that they're going to be hard to see. Like I'm telling you guys now, these are going to be hard to find. So by having them UV reactive, that's going to help you guys a lot.
We can buy an effigy locator with candy canes. And if you don't want to waste your candy canes, you can just do it the old-fashioned way.
What happens if you die with the effigy locator in your inventory?
Well, no, like it's just like you unlock it, and then now you have access to the effigy locator.
Okay. Wrote it down. It's in my
It's an
notes.
idea. Yep.
It's like 2,000 candy canes because you really
That's
gotta be
crazy.
lazy.
You gotta really
You
want
really
It's a
gotta
lot
be
of candy
lazy if
canes.
you don't want 700,000 candy canes. I think we should get
is
like every day we get
universal.
like maybe like 10 tickets, and we could take those tickets and go to lobbies and we get our candy canes. You only get 10 a day, so you can't go to every lobby and just farm candy because you gotta use your ticket.
So we don't want to limit how many lobbies you can go to a day
Well,
necessarily.
you could still go to the lobby, but you can't receive anything from the lobby if you don't have any tickets.
Bro's over here like running the Holiday Express train.
Yeah,
And like, ticket please.
you know what? Yeah, we have an express. We just build an entire Polar Express real quick.
All right. So I wrote down that weekly tasks.
Hey,
Effigy locator. Thank you.
pray. Okay, I'm gonna go.
And
Everyone, go play Stone Manor.
I hate Stone Manor. It's so scary. All right, and then we have Whiskey Tango.
Once again, really love the job. Going back on the ticket count or the candy cane count, you're talking about doing the 5 in lobby and then 5 and 5 and the 50. I think that'd be too easy to unlock items.
Mm-hmm.
Could y'all reduce it to like 3 for visiting a lobby? Yeah, you still get the one plus all the extras for inside the game or inside the missions.
Yes. So one of the ideas we were tossing around was every player who goes to the lobbies would get like two to three. We haven't decided like a solid number, but what we were thinking was the person hosting the lobby has a visitor. Okay, so you come to my lobby, you get 2 candy canes from my lobby, maybe 3, who knows. As the host, because we're going to do it in a Christmas present type way where they have to go open it up under the tree, we were thinking of have it be a random number between 1 and 3. That way, it's not the guaranteed like, oh, I'm just going to have people keep coming into my lobby and I'm going to get, I'm going to get 300 pieces of candy an hour. It's possible you strike a 1 7 times in a row. Um, so that was kind of our way to negate that a little bit as well. But I that's one of the things we're kind of struggling with.
I was gonna say, no, be in mind that that's considered gambling in certain states.
That's okay. It's trading. It's not gambling. It's
There
trading.
you go.
We're just trading.
Gotta make sure you get that wording right.
It's a fair trade. I give you candy canes, you give me candy canes. We're just trading. It's not a cult and it's not gambling, you guys. We have a really
Exactly.
bad rep. It's
But
gurgling.
once again, I absolutely love the game.
Thank you.
Me
We
and
love you.
my 6 crew members, we always try to do something fun.
Heck yeah.
And we're trying to bring more to the community because you guys are a great community.
Aw, thank you. You guys are the great community. We just work here. I want to address what Hazu said about he said the effigy should make a humming sound. I personally have a lot of sensory issues, like a lot. So when the other game had one of their events and it was a lot of noises, um, not to be dramatic, but I cried. I can't listen to that. I can't have constant humming or anything. So like for people like me, that's hell. Like I can't do that. I can't even have the spirit box on in my ear for that long. Um, IRL, not a cult gear. But yeah, so I think for the effigies themselves, just having them UV light reactive and just make sure you bring in your UV light to look around for them. And because they are going to work in such a way that the ghost will be able to kind of monitor what you're doing from them. They're not going to be in super close proximity of each other, I wouldn't think. So it shouldn't it's going to be hard to see them. It should not be hard to like actually find them once you're looking for them.
Yeah, it's not going to be. You guys don't have to worry about it being like way too difficult. Like you'll find them if you're looking for
No, we
them.
won't. I'm hiding them. You're not finding any of them. Don't listen to him. He's gaslighting you. Yeah, no, humming sounds make my teeth hurt, makes my ear feel like they're bleeding. Can't do that. Effigies on the roof, you gotta find a ladder. Yo, for real.
Okay, let's see. Anyone else want to come up with suggestions or feedback on the current?
I think Z is coming back.
I'm posting the link in the chat here in the stage chat for the concept. If anyone needs to kind of go over it, the full concept of it.
Welcome back, Z.
Thanks. While we were sitting here, I had an idea when you were talking about the random number with candy canes. What if
Yeah.
also potentially, if you go to somebody's lobby to get your candy canes from them, what if instead of getting a candy cane, you got coal instead? It's like a low
That could be
chance of that
amusing.
happening.
That would be really amusing.
I think that would be hilarious.
We're gonna make it.
It's
We're
like,
gonna make it so your
I
account
only
only
need
gets
one more
coal.
candy. I only need one more candy, and you go to one lobby and you get coal.
These guys say coal me. I don't hate that idea at all, and I think that's also a good way to nerf it a little bit.
Yeah, it would be like I would at least get a good laugh out of it. Whatever, like, oh man,
Yeah.
thanks, Stan. I would tag Stan in Discord, be like, I got coal from your lobby. Appreciate it.
We're gonna pick 5 random accounts to exclusively get coal the entire event and not tell you guys who it is.
It's gonna be
Oh
the
god,
players that
this
had the
wasn't
most
my
candy in the
idea.
last
Take me
event.
off the list.
Everyone that had whoever had the most candy, you're just gonna get Cole for Christmas. That's all you're
Van.
gonna do.
It's gonna be
That-
Van, Universal, Z.
I mean, I finished the event in like 2 days last time, so
Knox goes, that's not random. Yeah, vote for stockings where you can leave someone coal or a gift.
and then maybe if you end up with like X amount of coal, you could trade it in for something.
Yeah, I don't think that's a
Coal
bad
hard.
idea. Cold
Yeah.
hard cash. Coal hard cash.
Coal
takes-
hard.
10 Cole to exchange for one candy cane.
$1.
One candy cane, and then 3 candy canes for $1.
Yep.
I like it. I like it. Thanks, Z. I wrote that down.
No problem.
I do like that idea. That's funny.
Yeah, I know Cole is it's a good thing, and a lot of people are talking about it for the Halloween event, not necessarily for the Halloween event, but during the Halloween event when we were talking about the Christmas stuff, it was the Cole kept coming up a lot, so I know it's a big thing. So maybe we do something like that.
I'm inviting Aspire up to the stand.
1 million Cole
Hello,
for one
everybody.
candy cane.
I like
Hello,
you guys
Aspire.
are doing amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My idea, Blood kind of touched on because we were talking a couple days playing. A kind of neat idea would be while you're playing, have like a small chance of finding like a spare candy cane, like we were doing the candy hunts. Have like a very small chance of finding like a bonus candy, like we had during the Halloween event.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Just have it be like a rare chance while you're doing contracts.
I like that.
Just as a little like, oh look, I found that. That was really
Maybe.
a
I
big
like
part,
that
just to
idea to
get
have a
people
bonus.
I do too.
yeah, and also
think-
like when you do the FGs, do like maybe a naughty or nice, so you get squeaky shoes.
Everyone wants the squeaky shoes back.
We love the
I
squeaky
almost-
shoes.
I almost think we need to have almost 2 separate things in the contract. So you have the strawman effigies, but then you also have just just 2, maybe at most 3 on the biggest maps, just a very small amount of just like small Christmas presents that give you something in it, kind of like the candy did, the trick or treat type thing, where it
Mhm.
can give you like a bonus candy or it gives you something just negative, right? So you
Yeah.
don't know what you're gonna get. You get a lump of coal from it, right?
Yeah,
That gives you
and
something
me and my
bad.
normal crew, like we're addicted to searching for candy. We catch ourselves doing it all the time, so we need our fix.
They're all addicts.
Vile says, I vote no squeaky shoes. Well, I might add squeaky shoes as like a hangman card choice.
Yeah, because can't the ghost hear your squeaky shoes if you're moving
Oh,
around
yeah,
inside of a closet? Yeah.
Yeah, it can hear the squeaky shoes, yeah.
So that's pretty much all I got.
Thank you. That was helpful.
you.
We like that.
No problem. How do I leave this?
And then,
There you go.
oh, hell if I know. That's what the mods are for. And then I'm inviting Angry Wife up.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Welcome. Yes.
Yes, hello.
So, crazy thought, especially since it's such a wonderful community. I think it would be really cool if we could do like a secret Santa. Like, I know you got the presents and stuff, but even go in and buy like a little item from the shop if you wanted. So it's completely optional. And you can personally gift that to another player.
I don't hate that.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually a pretty cool idea. We'd have
I
to
think
limit it in some way.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe
Like
a player
one
can only
present for the
receive
season.
yeah, like a player can only receive a certain amount of presents from anybody.
No, that makes total sense. I mean, do with it as you will. I just think it would be really cool, like especially since my husband and I play, exchanging a gift with him would be the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I think that's a
Now,
good idea.
Would you want it to be like, oh, I want to pick something like a chair or something that I could gift you? Or what if we did it in a way that there was like a bunch of different presents to choose from and you could leave a like a literal like gift box at an HQ and you can buy them like you could buy each player like one. So then by the end of the event, depending on how many players there are, you could have anywhere from 5 to 150 presents that people have bought you.
I think the gift box would be a fun idea. I would definitely restrict it to like you could only gift a player once.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
especially because of how big the crowd is and it's continuing to grow, which is awesome by the way. Love your game. Um, but this game is allowing I could say from a personal aspect because he's deployed. So when we get an opportunity to play it like helps foster that still closeness and it'd be cool
You're gonna
for us
make me
to go in.
cry.
I'm sorry.
I'm so emotional.
I'm so sorry. It would
That
just be
is so
really
sweet.
cool when you have fun things like that. And it's
Yeah.
I've never seen it in a game really before, especially for the holidays.
Yeah. Well, that was one of our big things was trying to find ways to make it more of a community thing. And it's something that like does bring people just closer in general in and out of the community and gets you talking with people you wouldn't usually talk with, playing with people you wouldn't usually play with, and just bridging that gap between players in general. So I'm glad that that's, working and
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's something
no.
that we could do.
It really is. I mean, I haven't been in a bad multiplayer group yet, so everybody who's on the chat, y'all are awesome. Especially since I'm like a poor little level 12. So
oh no.
yeah, we're fairly new. Been here a while, but haven't played it enough. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I mean, extending beyond Christmas, a daily tasks that's been mentioned would be absolutely fantastic. Um, but yeah, thank you so much for having me up.
Thank you.
Okay, I will do the words just for you, Fog. Group bonuses, but like have the candy amount that you get from a contract increase when you're playing in a group.
I love that. I
Okay,
absolutely love that.
so like the amount that you get when you pick up an effigy, or are you talking like a bonus at the end? Like if you're in a
Bonus.
5-player.
sure.
Bonus at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, group bonus at the end. Okay. Yeah.
I like that a lot. It encourages, a lot more players in your lobby.
Yeah. It kind of penalizes solo players though, but
I mean, not really. They're not getting penalized if they want the extra
they want-
candy,
if
they
they wanna-
can get
if
it.
they don't want to play
If they
somebody else,
don't want it,
solo
solo
players
players
get half candy. There we go.
But like,
Really,
no,
really
it's not like
punish them.
I think to be penalized, you'd have to be taking something away from them, and you're
Yeah.
not taking anything away. You're just offering that extra bit.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. That's a good thing. We'll just do like a group bonus based on the amount of players. So like larger lobbies will give you an increased candy payout at the end.
Solo players get executed.
That's drastic.
All right, I am inviting Vlad up to the stage.
Vlad,
Yay,
welcome.
it's me. Thank you. First off, want to say you all are amazing. We love you. Thank you for making this amazing, wonderful, awesome game
Thank
that
you.
I have become utterly obsessed with. So,
We love you.
thank you. Okay, so my question, I actually had to go pull it back up because, I had to write it down or my brain would have forgotten it. Is there any plan to do like another contest, kind of like we did the Halloween haunted house type of contest thing? Because I know that was a lot of fun getting to see everyone decorate and do their submissions.
We don't have a contest planned yet, but it's up in the air. So if it does happen, we'll put an announcement out for it. But we don't have anything planned. Nothing set in stone yet.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was my question.
It's not like
For-
out of
So
the.
you guys-
It's not out of the cards or anything. It's just something that we don't have a definitive answer on yet.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, no, I just figured I'd ask and then let you guys know that we love you and thank you for all the hard work.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I will figure out how do I leave this thing.
Girl, your guess is as good as mine.
I think one of the mods has to eject you
Um,
out.
So someone asked, will there be snow? Yes, we plan on having all of the maps snowing. It'll be like the first snowfall. We have a map coming out that we'll touch base on in just a minute that is based like in snow. So that's gonna be a cool one. It's the first one of its kind in that fashion. One of the things I wanted to bring up was just because she had just mentioned the HQ stuff. For Halloween, obviously, we did a pretty substantial amount of HQ stuff. Obviously, like this is a horror-based game, Halloween's a big deal, but for the Christmas event, we do have obviously like stuff to decorate your HQ with. We've got stockings, presents, trees, lights, like we've got a lot in there. But for this, I cannot promise you that every time you guys say, Fog, I want this, I can't promise it's going to make it in
So
the game.
yeah, this event is not going to be as long as the Halloween event. It's not going to last 30 days. This is going to be roughly a just over 2-week long event. So it's not going to be quite as large as the Halloween event. So, keep that in mind. Okay. We're going to make it a big event, but it's not going to be on the same scale as Halloween was, given that it's, Halloween, of course, is the horror holiday. So
Okay, and with that, I am pulling Maniacal back up to stage. You do not get to build snowmen, Z. I'm so sorry.
Hi, me again.
Welcome back.
Yes, very welcome to be back. So I'm gonna go back to, I believe her user was Angry Wife or something like that. With the Secret Santa thing, why don't we just randomize it between 3 to 5 different players to choose from to make it easy? And then you can choose one person a day or every other day or whatever have you.
It's a lot of edge cases with that, because if you have random players, how are you going to give them the present if they're not online? It's just one of those things, like there's a lot of edge cases you have to deal with.
Okay, I did not put that into thought. Okay, then I will mark that out. That is a bad idea. All right,
Yeah,
that's all I had.
it's just a lot to consider in that. That's why.
Right,
Z,
that
we
is
will go
true.
over that in a little bit.
All right, I will think of other ideas then.
We appreciate you.
Not a problem.
All right, so we're gonna bring up Billington and then Luca, and then we're going to move into the quarter 4 sneak peeks, as well as go into quarter 1 a little bit, if everyone's okay with that. Billington, up to the stage. Nobody said no, so I'm gonna assume everyone's okay with it.
It might be too early. I don't know if you want to get this later on, but as far as somebody just mentioned, group bonuses and stuff like that. So lately, I've seen that it is kind of like penalized for playing with more people because you're getting less money, less XP, and you get more with less people. Is there any feedback from that, or is just me noticing that, or is there any changes in that?
So XP doesn't get split between the entire
Yeah.
lobby. Your XP is individual based. All of
So
that's
I think
individually
I
based.
think what you're referring to is the bonus for doing a contract on like a larger map where you have less people. So like each location has a recommended player count, and you get a slight bonus if you have less than that amount. So
Yeah.
So it's not really you're not really punishing larger groups because you're not getting that additional. It's kind of like the same thing as like the flip of doing the group bonus. We're not like punishing solo players. It's the same way for the other way. We're not punishing players from playing in a group. We're just not giving them that extra bonus for playing the solo or duo on Abaddon Hollows full. We may do some sort of group bonus that's like permanently tied to the game that's not part of the event, where if you are in a group and we just get rid of the solo bonus or something like that, then we do that. Something we can consider. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I didn't know if it was just
The
playing
difference
or
isn't like too substantial, I don't think. If I remember correct, it's been a while. I think it's like 10%, I think.
it's a good couple $100 because I can play on the group of 6 on Abaddon Hollows and get like 16 or 1800. But if I'm playing by myself or 2 people, we're getting like 22 to 2400.
I wrote that down.
Yeah, write that down.
Write that down. I got it.
Yeah,
Okay, that's all I got.
the lesser bonus, I guess the smaller group bonus was added so long ago that honestly I forgot he was even in the game until you brought that up. It's been in there since the demo days. So if that's something that we don't need anymore, if we feel like players are having the same enjoyment playing a map solo as they are in a group, then there's no reason to have it. If it doesn't really make it more difficult, then why even have it?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just me that notices that, but it's just yeah, we have to try to get a big group. It's just not getting as much, so we kind of split off and get more money. But that's all I got.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. That was a good thing to bring up. Thank you. And I think this is the last one we're taking before going into our preview stuff, and it's a Luca.
Hello.
Hello.
Hear me? Okay. Hold on. Why did it just come off speaker? I just had an idea that maybe during the event, I don't know if it'd be too much development to try to do this short term period, but what if there was like a very rare chance of like a Krampus like ghost model that would spawn, and if it spawns on you, you get like a very rare like HQ item or something. Just like super small chance for it to spawn, but if it does, you get a reward for it.
I'm not too fond of having like just purely chance-based exclusive unlocks. I feel like that brings a lot of FOMO to players, like in a negative way. Like I like the ability for anyone to have the same chance of getting items, and if something is rarely chanced at you receiving an exclusive item, I feel like that can bring a lot of negativity to the game.
Okay, I understand that. It was an idea that came to my head that I thought was pretty cool.
No, it's a good idea. I mean, it's we welcome all ideas.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So now if you want to kind of jump into going over all the progression update design stuff and whatever you're willing to share with the class. And
You want to talk about progression first, or do you want to go into just Q4 so we can?
well, yeah, like
since
Q4 as a
progression's part of it.
whole, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Take it away.
Okay.
Oh, they want
So
to know about the maps. That's all they care about is the maps.
yeah, I mean it's part of
That's it.
Q4, so we can talk about we can talk about it all together.
Take it away.
All right. So for Q4, we have 3 large updates planned. 0.9.5, which is the next major large update, is planned for, and these timelines are not exact. So take everything with a grain of salt. You know how we are. We're a very small team. We try to get everything out as fast as we can. But next week, towards the end of next week, so next weekend technically, we'll be releasing the 0.9.5 update, which will include Abaddon West, which is the smaller version of Abaddon Hollows across the street. It is going to be the renovated Abaddon Hollows, so the side that's already been kind of restored. I think Fog can kind of go into more details about that map specifically if she wants to, before we move on to the next part of the update.
Sure. So it's geared more towards solo and duo players. Obviously, larger scales are more than welcome to join it. But it really just scales down Abaddon, and this map is full of Easter eggs for what's coming. We wanted it to be more of like a historical society, so preserved but kept up. So Easter eggs, we want candies. No. Is Mother still the ghost? Yes. So the sister is still going to be the ghost model for this map. With this map, if you follow us on TikTok, we've already posted a few photos of it that do hint at things coming in the future. One of the ones that I will bring up is the orphanage is tied to this map as well. So you'll see in the photos there is the children's grave plots that are well kept, preserved. And in that same grave plot, you will see Sister Abby's grave with the children. Because back in the day, the nuns were the ones who actually would take care of the children, especially during times of war, famine, sickness. And we're really big on the lore. So, and that's one of the only things I really want to like talk about with that map. In the photos that are posted over on the TikTok, every photo has an egg in it, and it's up to you to figure it out. And some of them are obvious, and some of them you're not gonna really know until you know. So there you go. Dee just posted them in the chat. All these squares make a circle. There is, in fact, a circle there. Yes, Hazu, Abaddon West, and Abaddon West, I should say, hints towards the orphanage's existence. So again, just using those children's plots, and you've got the World War One grave plots and the memorial gardens. It's honestly like a beautiful map. Like it's not. I almost felt like I was doing Abaddon Hollows a disservice because with this map, I really kept it very like clean, kept up, because it's all historical society rebuilding. Um, but because of that, I do think it is very immersive still, and I think it's good. I think it's good. Yeah, you're gonna be admiring things and then die. Yes, yes.
Exactly.
Am I still able to take statue selfies in smaller Abaddon? There's tons of statues, so I would say yes.
Okay. So that's that's Abaddon West, and that's going to be dropping with the 0.9.5 major update next week, the late next week. Included in that update, we have some other quality of life things coming. We have a full text chat system for the headquarters with the contract version coming later. We wanted to have the text chat system set up for the Christmas event, so you'll be able to talk to everybody in your HQ through text instead of having to use voice if you do not want to use voice. Included in that, we'll have the ability to now broadcast messages externally from our own server into the game. So if there's any issues, or if a developer opens the like their HQ and you want to get that extra bonus candy canes, which I know we didn't talk about that, but it's included in that Trello link I posted in the chat. Visiting a developer HQ will give you bonus candy canes, of course. It'll not be as common as it was during the Halloween event, but they will be broadcasted, so you will know that when it goes live. But you'll get notifications inside of your text chat system there in the HQ. They'll also have a voice chat indicator as well, so you can see who's talking inside the HQ on the radio or locally, like proximity-wise. So just another quality of life thing. And but the major focus of this this update specifically is going to be Abaddon Hollows West, which is some quality of life things added onto it. The ability
And
to
then
I lost my voice there for a second. I'm dying.
I'll take over for a second. Someone was just asking about controller support, and I do want to talk about that for a second. So, like Dee was just saying, this quarter four is broken up into a couple different pieces here. Controller support is expected to drop at the same-ish time as Orphanage, as well as the progression system as a whole. So we've got the text chat system, we've got save backups. You guys can thank D for that. He got really tired of remaking your saves for you.
Oh yeah, that was another thing. So you should not encounter anyone that has encountered a corrupt save. That should not happen anymore going forward after this new update. So there'll be a rolling save system to if you have a corrupt save, it'll fall back to the next recent one, which should only be seconds behind.
And so first we've got Abaddon Hollow West coming, and then we have our winter location, 317 Aspen Heights. D, if you want to post photos of Aspen Heights in there, I don't have them at the ready. So Aspen Heights is a smaller map. It is an apartment map. It is really well done. It's beautiful. It's spooky. It's creepy. It's very creepy. And that one is I want to say, like, honestly, for what we have right now, like, it's a very unique map. And then finally, the last map that's going to be dropping for this quarter will be the Orphanage. It is based loosely based off of real life orphanages that were in existence at that time, specifically the Bernie Orphanage Home. If you don't know what that is, you can Google it, or I have that one at the ready. So that's like loosely based off of that. And those are the 3 maps that we will be working with for this update specifically, like this quarter specifically, I should say.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some photos here real quick of Aspen Heights. But the time frames for these updates, again, they're rough, so they're not exact. But we're basically gonna be rolling out updates pretty frequently through the rest of Q4, starting at the end of next week. So 0.9.5 being Abaddon West, and then 0.9.6 being Aspen Heights. That will come out the following week. So just about 1 week after Abaddon Hollows drops, we'll be dropping Aspen Heights with some other quality of life changes, anything that we add to that update, which will be determined basically between Abaddon West and Aspen Heights. And then a week after that, or just over a week, we'll start the Christmas event. And then shortly after the Christmas event concludes, we'll be dropping the final update of Q4, which will include the orphanage location and all the rest of the progression update stuff like controller support. And the progression update being the biggest thing other than the maps, of course. I know everyone cares about the maps, but the progression update is going to be probably the biggest thing for us
Huge.
internally
Massive.
here. Yeah, it's a very exciting quarter for sure. We have a lot of stuff. It's been very
with the
busy. That's why we've
progression,
been out of the
you're
loop in
busy.
the Discord lately because we've been so busy.
He says we've been busy. I just kind of watch what he does. I say, wouldn't it be so cool if we did this? And then he just kind of does it. That's the dynamic we have. So anyway, the progression update, super exciting stuff. We're looking at a prestige system, which I know we've touched base on before. We are aware that some of you are already well over level 500. We have a couple people who we know are over 1,000. You will be able to retain your legacy level, and we haven't decided for sure, but like via a plaque or maybe on your name card, something like that, just so that like you can still show off your overall legacy level. So you've got 15 prestiges so far, about 30-ish, 35-ish achievements that we've come up with. You're going to have different title unlocks for cleanse and identify. We're going to have additional photo objectives, additional contract objectives, as well as the introduction of seasons. So each season, we're still toying with this. So this is not exact by any means, but we're guesstimating each season will run for about 8 weeks or 56 days. They'll include character cosmetics, XP boost, insurance cards, HQ furniture, and UI stuff for your laptop and your phone, and all sorts of things like that. For anyone over level 300, you will be able to utilize the first 3 prestiges right off the rip. We are not going to allow players to prestige more than 3 times right off the rip. That is why we are giving you access to your legacy level to still show that off. But you'd get very bored very fast if we just let you prestige 15 times and then it was all done. D, we are waiting for those apartment photos.
I'm getting them right now. I didn't have them ready, but I'm
You
getting them.
should've. You knew we were doing this.
True.
Do we lose our funds when prestiging? When you prestige, We haven't really worked that out yet. So here's my thing. The only things I have thought of when you prestige is you should have your overall level roll back to 0, and your funds should probably also roll back. But maybe not to 0. Like, I'm thinking maybe you keep like 10K. That's what I'm saying. Money is not hard to get, you guys. Spray update. We had discussed making sure that, you know, players are able to see how much spray is left in the bottle. To do that, we're thinking that just on your right side of the screen where it says 1, 2, 3, and 4, it'll just display right there. You will not lose your large vehicles. You will not lose your HQs. And one of the other things that we know is an issue that we haven't touched base on yet is we do plan to make changes to the vehicles to make 6-player capability no longer progression based, so that the second you buy the game, you can play with 6 players. To do that, we are guessing, we are going to be getting rid of the sedan and replacing it with a pickup truck and then adding a separate vehicle. She's lying. Orphanage photos don't exist. Don't let her gaslight you. Oh my God. Don't exist. When are we getting the video cameras? Video cameras are coming with the Survive the Night update, which we are not setting an exact date for. Van with a unicorn on the side. No, however, we do plan on having more vehicle skins for each one of the vehicles. And you can't put your teammates in the trunk, Snoopius, unfortunately. You guys, if you don't know who Snoopius is, he is one of our content creators here. And in fact, fun fact, Mary and Tony are also not just mods, but they double as content creators for the other side. If you're not following them on Twitch, you should do that. There's my shameless plug for them. You know what? Exactly. Follows are free and they are amazing. So yeah, with the Christmas update, you know, obviously everything that you see in the Trello that Dee had posted several times over, we're gonna have HQ furniture, we're gonna have customized, you know, obviously more clothing. All the locations will be decorated. We're not gonna go as hard with this update as far as like visual cosmetics and whatever go as we did for Halloween, like we said, but we do have a lot more coming with this one. Now, we also said we would chat a little bit about Q1. Now, Q1 doesn't start until January, and it's important to note that anything that we say here is not exact, and we're still working on it. There's the photos. Boom, crushed it. So for Q1, we talked about a lot of quality of life stuff. So it's gonna be a lot of polishing, as well as adding a couple more items that you can use in contracts. And I'm not gonna say what they are because D will yell at me. I feel like I'm scared he beats me. And that's all I want to say because I don't know what I'm allowed to say, D. I don't know. I don't know what I'm allowed to say about Q1. We
You
did
can
not discuss what I'm allowed to say.
Yeah, so we're just primarily focusing on, like she said, quality of life stuff. So let's see here. Let me pull up the list. Pull up the list here. So and not
You're
just
allowed
quality
to
of
say
life
all
stuff. So we're also going to be focused on some fun stuff too, like emotes and being able to sit on furniture in the headquarters, right? So
Yes.
that's kind of a quality of life thing. I know you have chairs that you can place down. You can't do anything with them. It'd be nice if you could sit on them. Furniture placement on carpets and rugs. That's a big one.
I want to shake my butt at Jeb. Write this down. Write this down. Can we get names above players when in a contract? I don't love that. I'm going to tell you why I don't love that. The only reason I don't love that is, for me personally, one of my favorite parts of this game is, number one, if I can't see my teammate, I can't fucking see my teammate. If Miranda's dressed as a robber in a dark corner, I love that I have no idea where she is. I think it's hysterical.
Yeah.
The option obviously would be, you know, you could turn it off in your settings, but even that I feel like ruins the immersion of everything. Do you know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
Yeah, we want to keep the HUD minimalistic for the contract. That's kind of like why we have the cell phone, which has most of your stuff. I think the only HUD you really have is your equipment icons on the side and then your indicator when you look at things. But we generally want to keep the HUD very minimal to keep the immersion as much as we can. So we don't want to have player indicators or like voice chat, like pop-ups in the top or anything like that. We want to keep that like specific for the HQ where it's kind of more like less immersive, I guess. So
Does higher player levels now require more XP? Seems like it takes longer to level up now. Not yet.
it does, but the growth on it is not drastic. So going from level 999 to 1000 is not much different than going from 900 to 901. It's not much. It's a little more, but it's not much. So the growth is not, the exponential curve is not as great as it should be. With the progression update, it's going to take more XP to level up per level. So as you get higher in the levels, you will generally take longer to get there. It's just how it is.
Where is
But yeah, for Q1, so again, we have emotes that we want to do. And this is all just like, this is planned stuff. Of course, we haven't started working on, it's not active development yet for this stuff. This is Q1. Sitting on furniture placement on rugs, a bunch of quality of life stuff that may or may not make it, like smaller things that may or may not make it into Q4, such as being able to change session privacy mid-session. So like if you have a public lobby and you decide, oh, I want to now make it private because I don't want to play with any more people than I already have, being able to change that would be nice without having to remake the lobby, go to the main menu, all that crap. So being able to do that would be nice. Also being able to generate a new session code would be a new quality of life thing. Fixing the random map bias, since we don't have a whole lot of maps in the game yet, we feel like there needs to be some sort of bias so you don't get the same chance at getting the same map 2 or 3 times in a row. It can still happen, but we just want to make it so it doesn't happen as often as it seems. Another thing is like the headlamp not consuming an equipment slot. We want to get this in for Q4. It's not something that is going to take a whole lot of time to do because we know the headlamp shouldn't really take up an inventory spot. So we're going to make it so it doesn't.
Do we know that?
We do know that. It's been made known to me by several people. And then for Q1, I think the biggest thing is
It was me.
The cleanse changes. So we have a lot of ideas on how we want to make cleanse more rewarding, like visually. So like, you know, picking up artifacts and actually cleansing the ghost should feel like you cleanse the ghost. It shouldn't just go silent like it does currently. The ghost doesn't do anything anymore because it's gone. We want you to actually feel like you got rid of the ghost, and make it more, I guess, not similar, but kind of pair it with identify, so they kind of go together in a way. We're not going to ever make them into one unified game mode, but we want there to be like some, I guess, what do you call it? Like there's be some consistency between the two, I guess. Like there's a reason why you're cleansing the ghost and there's a reason why you're identifying it, so that we kind of want to have that bridge there between the two. And so we have some ideas of stuff that we're going to implement for cleanse. And then when that happens, we're going to rework the training. So the training is going to get a huge rework after we get done with all that stuff. So that's Q1 stuff, maybe even potentially Q2. But that's like planned features, internally planned features down the line.
Yeah.
And then of course there's going to be more maps coming out as well, which we're not saying anything about yet, but there will be more maps, of course.
Hazu says, was it just a rumor that Summerhill was getting an expansion? Summerhill received an expansion
It's for the
in
behaviors update in
when
July.
was it? Yeah, July. So previously, Summerhill did not have that room by the bathrooms, that large back room. It didn't have the break room, the nurses station, the hallways that connected morgue to classroom, or electric to, where is it, hydro bathrooms, somewhere over there. That all happened with the behavior update back in July. Blood, of course. How long before the prestige system is implemented? The prestige system will come with the progression at 0.9.7, which is one of the final updates of quarter 4. So like end of December.
Yep. Yep. And then also it's not part of an update, but it should be. The very end of Q4, beginning of Q1, we'll have a very small New Year's event. Yeah, it's not going to be like an event like Halloween or Christmas or Easter. You're not going to unlock, crazy cosmetics and stuff like that. It's going to be very simple. We plan on having inside the contract locations every hour, because there's different time zones. Every hour there's fireworks that go off in the background to signify New Year's, basically. So from the end of the year until the beginning of the year, like the 31st and the 1st, New Year's Eve and New Year's. It's gonna be a great time. A lot of fireworks.
Any chance for a Santa fit?
Yeah, we plan on having some unique outfits for the Christmas event.
The Tony asked, how long do you plan on having the Christmas event going on for? So the Christmas event, we plan to start either the 12th or the 13th of December and have it run until, I believe, the 28th of December.
Yep. Yeah,
It's
the
not going to
Sunday
have
following.
Yeah, it's not going to have as many unlockables as the Halloween event did. It's going to have plenty of them, but Halloween we went hard for. So for this one, 2 weeks should be plenty. So Billington is asking 300 for prestige, 1K for plaque. So we had jokingly mentioned that we would like to give anyone whose level was over 1,000 by the time the prestige or the progression update dropped, give them a legacy plaque type thing for it. We also discussed that if you are over level 300, so this is where everyone needs to listen. Listen to my words, please. Okay. We have 15 prestiges at the rip ready to go. So we have prestige 1 through 15. For every 100 levels, you will be able to prestige. If you are already over level 300, so if I'm level 598, I can only prestige 3 times. I cannot prestige 5 times. If I'm level 123, I can prestige 1 time. When you prestige, it reverts your level back to 0. However, you will still be able to keep track of your overall level. We just haven't decided exactly how we want to display that for players. Listo, the progression update is end of December.
Yeah, so
Unisex costumes, not being able to be a clown. That's not creepy, dude. Made me sad. There was a cute female clown too.
How can you tell
How
what
can you
prestige
tell?
someone is? So there's going to be a lot of UI changes with the progression update. The tablet's going to be completely different. You'll see it when it happens, but there's going to be, of course, you can already see in the laptop currently that you have different stores now. You have the vehicles, the Retrofit Masters, which is your vehicle shop. You have your clothing store and your furniture store. So you'll no longer have all these things kind of inside your tablet. You'll still place furniture from your tablet, but a lot of that stuff is going to be changed on how it appears and functions. It's going to be a lot more intuitive, because I know it's very like cumbersome the way it's currently set up. There's a lot of stuff in the tablet. We want to kind of clean that up. But the way like you can recognize someone's prestige is because they're going to have their own like quote unquote player card kind of thing that they can decorate.
With the prestige, in an ideal world, each prestige tier gives you a unique title, a custom background for your tablet where you can see like all the characters, as well as some sort of, I don't want to say trophy, but some sort of variation display that you can have in your HQ. I had actually thought about doing prestige hoodies, Luca. That was something that I had already considered. Can we have daytime changes for each difficulty or just random? D, that's a you question.
So yeah, we could, I guess. I haven't really considered it. I mean, this isn't necessarily a spoiler, but for Survive the Night, there's going to be daytime changes, I guess. But Obviously, it's called Survive the Night, so it's not necessarily a spoiler for you guys. I'm sorry. But I haven't really given it much thought to have different times of the night, like dusk to dawn type thing for regular identifier cleanse. I think we've kind of bounced the idea around before, but ultimately I don't think it was really worth implementing.
So there's a couple questions that I actually want to answer here. Sparkle says the larger point was getting at what is the plan for more diverse character skins? It would be great to have options for race, ethnicity, gender, representation. That is something that is extremely high on our to-do list. One of the biggest reasons that we don't have them right now, it really came down to the money and the know-how. At this point, we've got the know-how and Dee's got that money. So we can get those characters. The issue is one of the things that people were saying, they're like, oh, just add a slider scale to the skin color and then I can just make myself as dark as I want. And it's like, if you do that, it's going to look really, really bad on us to do that. Like it's not gonna, it couldn't look worse. Um, but yes, we not only do we want different skin tones, we want other ethnicities as well. Representation obviously is a very big thing, especially since we just dropped the localization update. We definitely want that. The other question I want to answer is Sonia says, I'm already over 300, so should I stop leveling then? The answer to that is no. You will still have your overall level displayable.
Yep.
So even when you prestige, so if you're level 300 and you prestige, or you're 398, whatever, and you prestige, you are now prestige 3, level 0. However, your legacy level will still say 398.
Yeah. We'll call it your overall
it's
level, not your
yeah.
like seasonal level or we'll call it your overall level will continue to increase no matter what. So
What is Bu saying? Do I even want to know? Could be awesome if clocks on maps show the correct time where you are based in the world, but that'd be confusing. Because what if it's like 8 a.m., but I'm over at Cedar and it's clearly
yeah.
middle of the night?
Yeah. There's the same reason in the phone you don't have like like in the laptop in the HQ, your time on your laptop is synchronized to your local time. But the one in the contract is 11 o'clock is when it starts because it's dark out. We don't want to have it be high noon and it's pitch black outside, like you're in Alaska or something.
Unless you are in Alaska, in which case, just for you, we could make it work.
So no daytime for my picks.
Plot twist, every map is in
No,
Alaska.
I don't think we're gonna have daytime, unfortunately. It's not something that we intend to add. So for another
I
thing
want
for
varying. I want snow on every map all the time. Forever. Not just winter update, but can't always get what you want.
Nope, you can't. So for Q on some other additional things that is in the public Trello, if you're not familiar with the public Trello, it's got some goodies on there where you do update it. So you can kind of see what's publicly planned. A lot of the stuff that we shared tonight is not in the public Trello. So, congratulations for being here and being in the know. But in the public Trello, there's a lot of stuff as well that's planned for Q1 and Q2 of next year as well, such as new equipment. We have like an early hunt detector. We want to do a motion sensor, which is going to tie into a lot of new equipment for the phone, where you have sensors that you can place down and get notifications on your phone. One thing that's not on here yet is a few things that's not on here yet. We want to add in a SLS camera as well as a DOTS system, like laptop. It's not going to perform like it does in other games, but it's going to be our own unique and better approach to the that equipment type.
A more realistic. We'll call it a more
Exactly.
realistic approach. And I think if you don't know what an SLS camera is, because I don't know, maybe some of you don't watch Ghost Hunters or whatever, but it's Think of it as like the Xbox Connect, where it would outline your person as a stick figure type thing, and it's believed that the SLS can pick up entities as well. So having that in the game is something that I could be wrong, but I can't think off the top of my head of any other game that has it and utilizes it well. So that's an exciting one that we have to figure out. I say D has to figure that out.
I got it.
But just things that we're excited for. He's got this. Someone asked if the cross is going to have any additional benefits in the future. D, you can answer that one.
Yeah, we did talk about changing how the cross works. I can't remember exactly what we came up with because I
So
didn't write it
we
down.
we had
But
discussed using it almost as the early hunt detection. However, if you guys point your attention over to the Trello, we already have an early hunt detector on the Trello already made.
yeah,
So that might not work.
but we did kind of tinker with some ideas for possible behaviors to deal with cross and stuff like that. So some stuff that can make behaviors for new ghost types as well. Stuff like the ability for certain ghosts to chuck that cross across, like completely across the room instead of flipping it over, or light it on fire, break it into pieces, stuff like that. Maybe the certain ghost type doesn't just want to flip the cross, but instead wants to light it on fire. So
Mm-mm-mm.
yep, that
Permanent
is the early hunt
crosshair
detector.
for cursor, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, permanent crosshair for cursor. That's also planned. I might be able to squeeze that in for Q4, but don't hold your breath.
So I'm literally, for anyone who's not clicking that link, I'm going to read down the plan, and these are in no particular order in any way, shape, or form. These are just things that are in the Trello if you ever feel like reading it. Obviously, survive the night. We have a military bunker contract location. We've got more lore coming with the maps in general, as well as a behaviors notebook to help you keep track of the ghost. We do have custom difficulty and challenges coming out, updated UV textures, because we know that it's hard to differentiate between 1 and 2 sometimes. And then for novice specifically, we would like writing in UV level to be in the details for those of you playing cleanse. We do want to keep adjusting the obsidian shield. It just never feels exactly right, especially the more players are getting accustomed to the game, and the more we're adjusting the ghosts themselves. The early hunt detector, voice recorder, motion sensor, and perk machine HQ furniture. And that's going to really roll into more of that survive the night stuff. And we get the question all the time of when is the video cameras coming and all that stuff. That will be with the survive the night update game mode, which we have no
No
real
information for you
time
guys.
for. Yeah. Notebook equivalent to the cheat sheet. So let me sip water because I'm yapping way too much. What we have briefly discussed with the notebook is picture a composite notebook that you are literally taking notes in. So if I'm playing Identify and I go in, when I first start, I have an empty notebook. I've written nothing in my notebook. I've learned nothing. I go in, I have a boot for the first time. By the end of the contract, assuming I guessed the boot correctly and I got everything I needed to get, when I go back to my HQ, that notebook will now say boot, and then it will say things like, oh, I noticed that this ghost made the room really cold right before it started hunting, and this ghost was poltergeist. This ghost threw a lot more stuff than the others. Or for the demon, it made objects like really hot to the touch. But we want it to be as if your character was writing it, to keep that lore. We don't want it to just be like boot makes room cold just before hunt, demon object hot when touched. So then when you want to go back and learn your ghosts after you've identified them once, you'll be able to do that. Oh my god, Tony, thank you. Those are the only ones that I know.
Yeah, the easy ones.
I know the Tantalus can't close the door. That's I got that. Learning things. Wisp turn on lights. Literally.
It's a wisp.
We have a question from someone watching the stream. They want to know about Ghost Trap, like Ghostbusters, being added.
We don't have plans for anything like that. I mean, cleanse is kind of how you cleanse the ghost. You're not necessarily trapping it, but you're getting rid of it from the location. We do have some. I don't know if we want to talk about this yet, but for cleanse, we do have some ideas for stuff that you can remove from the contract to take back to your headquarters. But you're not taking the ghost back to your HQ. Sorry, the ghost is not coming back with you.
Yeah. Z said increased blessed inventory space. Question mark. My answer would be no. But I don't know D's answer.
It's a very controversial topic, the blessed inventory size.
Because
I'm
here's
against
I think it's a
increasing
fine
it
size. Yeah, I think it's a fine
because,
size.
and hear my reason, because there's enough space in there for a party of 6 to have enough stuff to defend themselves appropriately. Because if you think about it, the only item is the pills that are single use, meaning you only one person benefits them. The holy water, the shield, they take up more spots. They do take up a lot more spots, but they do you can protect your entire team with one bottle, because if you all stick together, right? You don't need to have, not every person needs to have a bottle. The same thing with a candle. You can put your entire team in one candle. So I just don't see the reasoning behind increasing the size for that, because you can already fit like 3 spray bottles, a candle, and like 4 pills or 5, 6 pills, whatever it is. You can fit a lot of pills in there, plus a candle, 3 bottles, and that should be enough for 6 people.
I agree with that.
I mean, and the
completely.
reason is like we don't want to just increase it, because then the whole reason we have it is so you don't have a ton of protection. We want to give the player that risk, and to figure out what they want to bring in. We originally didn't have the blessed inventory size. Yeah,
Is
my
it
cleanse inventory
possible for
size.
something cool to happen when you cleanse the ghost? So that goes back into what we were saying. Well, Dee was saying a little bit ago. We do have plans down the line. Probably not in quarter 1, I imagine.
Yeah, it's late
But
Q1,
down the
maybe Q2.
line, yeah. Where we would like there to be a visual effect for cleanse, and not just for cleanse, but we would like to tie off the loose end between cleanse and identify. We want it to be the identifying team is going in to identify the ghost, the cleanse is coming in to double check their work. Here is, we want there to be at the end of identify, it's okay, you think this is Teriaxuk, so you're gonna do this to the door or to the house, whatever. And then when the cleansed team comes in, they're gonna see that you did this, and they're gonna like double check your work. But now the ghost is more pissed off because it's already had people in and out of the house type shit. Um, we do want to tie up the ends of cleanse and identify. We want them to work together, and we want it to be like a whole experience. What's the lore with survive the night? No lore, just survive. Yeah, basically. VR support. D, take it away.
No VR support planned.
Boom.
It would take quite a bit of work, not just from a like a gameplay standpoint to get VR to work correctly, but also a performance standpoint. VR just unfortunately requires obviously very high resolution display, and we already try to optimize it as best we can, and it still is pretty heavy because it's Unreal Engine 5.
Question from stream. Would you ever consider a pack of vampires or something similar to clear? No. Moving on. It could be nice that if I had done identify run and the next person who cleansed the same map would see that my group had been there doing the identify. So it wouldn't work exactly like that in my head. Just because I don't know like the development side of that, but like the engine based shit side of that. So here's a very, very loose idea. Do not quote me. Don't take this to heart. Here's an extremely loose idea of what we were kind of toying with. So for identify, for example, you finish figuring out what the ghost is, and maybe outside there's a container, and in that container it has, different crosses, one for each ghost, like a drop down menu. You figure out what the ghost is, you pick the cross, you put it on the door, there's some audible sound or visual or something, we don't know. And now that ghost is essentially locked in the house and can't leave the location. And that's why the cleanse crew has to come in. So when the cleanse crew comes in, they come in with the intentions of double checking your work, figuring out whether or not that is truly the ghost that's in there, and then also finding out the characteristics. So when you go in cleanse mode, we've discussed having the cleanse ghost pick a random ghost behavior. So you might go into a cleanse mode and encounter a Skia. It's not going to leave you the Skia evidence because now it's already pissed off about the fact that the identified team was already there. But now it's got a behavior. So now you have the option of being like, okay, yes, the cross that was on the door or the whatever that was on the door was right, and there's your little bonus for the game. And then, cleansing the ghost, getting rid of whatever you have to get rid of for that, just to tie them together. So that's like a really super loose idea of what we're thinking for that. Scared, but it's just gonna cry. Yeah. I just cry the whole time. Should have the oh yeah, Universal said should also remove the ability to run the machine outside of the house. Yeah, D already wants to do that.
What was it? I missed it.
Any plans for new evidence types? Oh, just making it so the affixer cannot be run
Oh, yeah,
outside of
yeah.
the location. Yeah. Any plans for new evidence types? Yes. And with that, also it opens the door for more ghosts as well. Like we're not done adding ghosts or evidences or anything like that. We're just getting started.
Just getting started. Yeah, so removing the ability for the affixer to run outside the house. For that, I'm probably gonna make it where if the affixer is not in the favorite room, it just will tell you it's not in the favorite room. It's not going to tell you if the evidence is correct or not. You have to be in the favorite room in order to know if the evidence is correct.
Yeah. I came in a little late. Did anyone bring up maybe having the ghosts change rooms? So because we work with a haunted location, not a haunted room, the favorite room isn't that important aside from finding temperature. So one thing that makes the other side extremely unique, and it's been honestly one of my favorite things since I, found the game myself, is you can literally take your thermometer and follow the ghost from room to room just based off of the room's temperature. So the only reason you need the favorite room is for temperature check to see if it ever hits freezing, or for cleanse if it ever hits freezing, whatever. Aside from that, the ghost only spends about half its time in its favorite room. Having it change favorite rooms really wouldn't do anything. So other games have it change favorite rooms because that's the only room it can leave you evidence in. The other side doesn't work like that. You guys know that. If the favorite room's Ravenwood's garage, I can be in the living room and still get what I need. I just have to follow the ghost around a little bit.
Yeah.
They do be roaming.
Could we
Okay.
also have an option for the affixer to select like multiple choice for the 1 to 4 instead of manually typing? Yes, with the controller support, there's going to be a change to how the affixer how you can input evidence into the affixer. It's got to be able to, obviously, if you're on a controller, you're not going to be typing, so you'll have more of a drop-down type system.
We have about 15 more minutes before we're calling it quits here, gang. So get in your last questions, comments, concerns. Oh my God, C's typing.
Yeah, if you're using the affixer and you have the option between typing or, using the drop-down, using the drop-down is going to be slower. the affixer has predictive text, so it kind of helps as long as you kind of know the commands, right? So add, remove, scan, basically that's all you really need to know.
Don't worry, it's coming to console in about 12 to 18 months, and I'm gonna keep saying that for the next 12 to 18 months.
Yeah, it'll be 12 to
Actually,
18 months until it comes out the next like month, and then it'll be like next month.
I honestly have been commenting on TikTok and saying roughly 12 months just to really. I did. Yeah, see, she dropped it to 12 months now. Kaylor's new. I did drop it to 12 months. I've been saying 18 months since like May. Like I can't keep saying that.
Just push it back. It's fine. No, consoles basically it's not planned. We don't have a date for it yet. Console will be when the game is in a feature complete state where we're not continually adding big features. So that way we don't have to worry about bug fixes and pushing updates to, you know, to Microsoft and Sony and then have to wait for their approval and all that junk. It's a lot easier for us to get updates out on PC because we can do it within minutes, whereas console can take weeks.
God, don't call it Jesus juice. That sounds so wrong. Where's the D's diner map?
No, yeah, we're not doing a diner map. Are you crazy?
Of course there's gonna be toilet effigies. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. If you think for a second that Hans Trap isn't gonna watch you while you're on the toilet, you're wrong.
Like in the toilet?
Yeah. I love hiding stuff in the toilets. Look, Miranda, as I said that, Miranda types, Fog loves hiding stuff in toilets. It's just a fact. Like, it's just a known thing.
Can y'all
Ever
make
consider,
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, I was just reading, ever consider possession added to the game? And then I was going to hand that off to you.
Not like in a crazy way. We do want to add the ability for the ghost to
Doppelganger.
imitate another player,
The doppelganger
but not
specifically.
yeah, specifically the doppelganger, yeah. But we don't want to make it where the player like loses their input. We not necessarily possession, but more like imitation in their form. So the ghost will
Mimicry.
basically mimic you as a player. But we don't anticipate to ever add like the ghost can take control of your character and stuff like that. Can y'all make dead friends be able to troll friends by allowing them to trigger things like the kitchen explosion? No. We want the dead players to be able to have fun and to troll their friends in a way that's not going to, I guess, make the game like too crazy than it already is. You can already turn off lights and open doors and all that stuff, but we don't want to like make it where the dead players can do ghost events and stuff like that, because that's just going to be way too confusing, and it's not really the vibe we're going for.
One of the other fun things that I wanted to kind of mention is we have been messing with the idea of making more things interactable in the sense that you can like pick them up and just, you know, have fun. Because we know that after hanging out with you guys in our HQs and stuff, we know that's something you guys are interested in, and we know that you guys are always like, I wish I could do this. I wish I could pick this up. I wish I could throw this. And it's like, if you
Yep.
wish it enough, we'll make it happen. I love touching
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, exactly.
The reason we haven't added the ability for players to pick up whatever they want, like anything the ghost can throw, the player should be able to pick up. We haven't added that because we have to. There's a lot that goes into that. Like the ability to pick up stuff has to have a hand animation. You have to be able to hold it in your hand. It's not just going to be floating out in front of you. We take a lot of like strides to make sure that the immersion's there. And so if you pick up something and your hand doesn't look like you're gripping it the correct way, it's just going to break a lot of that immersion and the standard of quality that we go for. We want to make sure that, you know, like all of our equipment, the way you hold it and everything, it should be accurate. Anything that you do, because we use like a true first person perspective, meaning like what you see on your screen is what other players see of you. So the way you hold an item, other players look at you and they can see you holding the item the same way. And so there's a lot of like stuff that is involved in that. So picking up items, we have to account for like the different hand animations for every item as well.
So like quarter 2 is nothing but hand animations. That's it.
Yeah, the
It's
whole
4 months
quarter,
of
yeah.
animating hands. But yeah, so like in has mentioned like the other game. Yeah, so if in other games, it's not just that game that does it. If I were to pick up my flashlight on my screen, it looks like I'm holding a flashlight. It's like, yeah, that looks good. But then if D looks over at me on his screen, the flashlight's like floating next to my hand and looks larger than it should compared to my hand, and it's just wonky, and we don't want that.
Exactly.
I'm just happy my hands are attached to my body in this game. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, slay. You guys have very low standards, which is great for us.
Yeah. Another thing is we want to, it's not on the Trello, but we want to increase the amount of hangman cards. I know we kind of hinted at that with the squeaky shoes maybe being added to a possible hangman choice. But other
Tarot
stuff
cards
like,
in general as well.
yeah, just more tarot cards, yeah. But the hangman, the different effects that you can get, right? Because there's only a handful of effects right now, like no, low sanity. You can have no stamina, random screams, blind, or I guess blurry vision. But we also want to add like some really fun ones in there, like the squeaky steps that everyone just loves. And then was it like narcolepsy or something where you just pass out randomly, you know?
That one would be really funny, but that one I think has to wait until we add the couple of seconds of immunity when you stand back up, because otherwise it's gonna be an issue.
Well, the tarot card, the hangman effect doesn't actually activate until you're fully standing back up. So, but yeah, just imagine you get back up and you just immediately pass out. It'd be temporary, you would like pass out for 5 to 10 seconds or whatever. But imagine you're running from the ghost and you just decide you want to take a nap, and you do just ragdolls.
Someone asked, Plush said, "Do you have a dream map that you hope to eventually add?" D.
I do not have a dream map. No. I think my dream map originally was the one I created, the first map I ever started designing for this game, which was Summerhill Psychiatric Institution. That was the map that kind of started it all. So
Aw, crazy Stevie. Are there any plans to add more than 6 spots for contracts?
not
A map
officially,
of D's house.
not officially. No, I've thought about the idea of doing some crazy event where we could just like a developer could have, a party bus basically, and just have a fun time with the community. But officially, I don't think we're gonna exceed 6 players. I feel like it would get a little chaotic when we get past that point. But it's not completely like off the table, but it's just less likely to happen. Because we could stretch it out. We've already determined that at least in the HQ, you can reliably hold 30 people in it without a dedicated server. So, I just imagine 30 people inside of Cedar.
What about new ghost looks? Not a different ghost model, but like Garrett growling, crab. Oh, so like different animations for the scares. I agree that that's something that should get
Yeah.
implemented
Mhm.
for sure. Will we ever be able to play as a ghost? We have been discussing a couple of different game mode ideas. One of them being a PvP, the other being, because we just think it'd be funny, prop hunt, just because how funny would that be? But nothing has been like, and nothing's in active development. It's all like, wouldn't this be cool? But I think at this point we could say like eventually, yes, PvP is going to be there.
Yeah, it'll be a separate game mode. It will not encroach on the current game modes, identify and cleanse. If you don't want to partake in any sort of PvP stuff, when that happens, if that happens, you don't have
When?
to worry. It's not something that's going to take over the game. So there will always be an AI ghost
The
outside of
other
that
side
game
of
mode.
the other side game, $6.99. Now the real question is, when will we get our not occult sweaters? Well, Method, I'm so glad you asked that. I want you guys to know something. The night that I said I would make those sweaters, I did make those sweaters. D, what
Yeah.
happened to them? I made
I
them.
got
Where'd they
incredibly
go?
busy. I got incredibly
Mm-hmm.
busy.
Yeah, for
I still have
months.
them.
So
Yeah.
busy.
No, they will be included with the 0.9.5 update. So don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
One of the cool things that I want to mention, because I was like really stoked on this,
Yeah,
is
you can blame
we
me for
do
that. Go ahead.
have. Wait, I want to tell them about the Born Dead. I'm really excited about that. So, one of the things I'm really excited for is I don't want to call it a collab, but I guess it is a collab, isn't it? We did get a collab with Born Dead Clothing Company, who allowed us to use their clothing designs. If you don't know what they are, they're like an alternative, very like goth emo style clothing line, and they allowed us to use a lot of their designs in game. They do have some dope stuff, and yeah, so with the progression update, when we have a lot of the cosmetics drop, we'll have some like really freaking cool clothing in there that I'm excited for. But D just like won't let us have it, which is fucking crazy. I want you guys to know the dude is sitting on like 50 to maybe 60 cosmetics that he's just not giving you.
It's waiting for the progression update.
Mm-hmm.
Progression update's huge.
I just Googled it and holy smokes. Yeah. Yeah, Listo, apparently you guys don't want it enough. Yeah, Born Dead sick. And it was really nice of them to allow us to use their stuff. So hopefully we get more stuff like that. Fog just out here snitching. Oh yeah, 100%. How many times is the
Z,
PC crash for the update?
hopefully
D.
none. I'm going to make sure that I start packaging the update 24 hours prior, so that way there's no issues. So no matter how many times it crashes, it'll be ready.
That's not going to happen because he works until the last second.
It's true.
So we're all clear.
Yeah, I'll be probably pulling like a 72-hour overnight 72-hour shift for Wednesday to basically Friday.
Christmas event is December 13th through 28th.
Do you ever sleep? Yes, I do. I sleep now. I started sleeping a lot more.
Yeah, we do also intend on more hair coming as well. All right, we have 4 more minutes. He may sleep, but does he leave the basement? No. No, he's not allowed out of the basement.
They don't let me out.
No.
They give
And
me enough food and water to keep me alive.
but it's in like a dog dish. Like
Yeah.
we just set it on the
Sometimes.
floor next to his desk. He gets energy drinks. No water. We keep him awake 24/7. Sprinkle a little cocaine in his water. We're like, here you go, buddy. Exactly. There's water in energy drinks. Hey Brian, are we poor? Oh man.
Yeah, I'm just looking at
Are
everything to
we
make sure I
trash,
touched
Brian?
on
That's what it
everything.
is.
Did we go over some of the progression like Steam achievements?
We could do that real quick. So some of the achievements that we have. Did you want to do it or do you want me to do it? You can do it. You seem
Okay.
excited. You should do it.
Okay, I'll do it. Yep. Okay, so some of the Steam achievements that we have coming out with the progression update. Just to, I guess, throw you guys some of the funny ones because a lot of them are pretty good. So
Thank you.
for identify, for these achievements, you have to successfully identify a specific ghost type. For if you identify let's see, the funniest one, like the Poltergeist, for example, it's the Stop Throwing Things at Me achievement. If you identify the Shura, it's too bad that I don't think Uber's not here, but if you identify the Shura, you get the You're Sure About That achievement. The Skia is Sad Ghoul Summer. If you identify the Revenant, you get the Forgot My Inhaler achievement. The Weeby Gomble is Why So Fast.
which I think is like golden. I love that one.
The echo is, come on, do something. Come on, do something. If you successfully identify a ghost in every location, so all the locations that are currently in the game at the moment that Steam Achievements rolled out, you get the Prime Real Estate achievement. And there's going to be achievements for cleanse and identify both, so don't worry. There's quite a few achievements. I haven't counted them all, but there's quite a few. There's completing one cleanse contract gets you an achievement. Then there's 10 cleanse contracts, all the way up to 1,000 cleanse contracts.
If you
So-
perform 3 wrong scans in one match, you get the Just Guess Again achievement.
I feel like we need to change that to
No
just
way.
fog it out.
No.
Just fog it out, I
No,
think.
no.
When in doubt, fog it out. Like, fog takes at minimum 3 scans per cleanse.
But do I die? No. Do you die? Uh-huh.
Yeah, saving the team. Getting
So
that
there's
picture.
also there's cleanse achievements you can get for
yeah.
going to the different locations as well. You can pick your favorites out of there.
Okay. So if you cleanse the ghost at Stone Manor, you get the I Can Fix Her achievement.
10 out of
So
10,
if you
10 out of
if you
10.
cleanse Vicky, you get the I Can Fix Her. Go ahead. Now you can pick the
I
next
was
one.
reading. I'm sorry. I was reading chat. If you cleanse the ghost at cemetery at the cemetery, so this will be Abaddon Hollows, full. It's just graves everywhere. Cedar. I think I stepped on a needle. Of course,
And then
successfully escaping a hunt after using holy water
my
will
favorite
yield
one.
you the bad kitty achievement.
Bad kitty. So yeah, spraying a ghost with the holy water and escaping the hunt. Bad kitty.
And then you have title unlocks for completing 5, 10, 20, 35, 50, 75, 100, all up to 1,000 for cleanse and identify as well. So if you cleanse 75 times, you will get Cleanser McCleanse Face, because that's a great one. 1,000 cleanses gets you God's Pressure Washer. Over in Identify is honestly not that funny, but it's okay. So 35 gets you Ghost Guessologist, 500 gets you Ghosted 500 times, 1,000 gets you Overqualified and Underpaid. Get it? Because you don't get shit in Identify. And that's what I've got there.
Yeah, and these
God's
are
Pressure Washer is wild.
and these
yeah.
are your title unlocks for your player card.
Yeah, so Bodie McBoatface is the McGoat, exactly. I vote we rename the failed scan ones to I'm Just a Girl. No, we'll get canceled. We're not allowed to be fun anymore. Can't do that. Honestly, there was a couple of them that I had that I was like, no, I can't do that. Like I can't do that. Cleanse is
We'll
where
just
it's at.
We'll have an achievement if you can fail the scan 10 times. It'll be a hidden achievement, so you can't actually see it. But if you unlock it, if you fail a scan 10 times, then you get the Just Fog It Out achievement. That's what we'll do.
Ha, you're so funny.
I'm just saying.
So funny. All right, it is after 11. It is time for us to call it an end here, because if we don't, we never will, because that's how this works every time.
it's
I
true.
can't do another 5-hour call. 10 times fail, that's a walk in the cemetery. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the input. We did take a lot of notes, so thank you guys for that. Everything we discussed can be found on the Trello, so if you or someone you know wants to know what's going on, just send them over there. We will not be posting any of the insider information that we gave to you guys here directly today, but if you feel like sharing that with your friends, that's fine. We just will not be posting about it until we get there. Everything that we have posted is on the Trello. Dee does really well keeping up with that. So have a fantastic night, you guys. Thank you for being here. I'm out of here.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you guys. We appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in.